Well, all sorts of sectors affected by the strike. Transnet management offering 4%. The unions asking for 12 to 13%. Well, let's speak now to AgriSA. Their CEO is Christo van der Rheede. Christo, good afternoon to you. What impact is this strike having on your industry so far?
I think it will have a massive impact. We haven't as yet felt it, but remember, we're big exporters of the citrus fruit. We're also big exporters of citrus. We're entering a berry season now. Yes, so it's critical that a solution be found and that the workers return to work as soon as possible. We hope and pray that this CCMA meeting that is taking place that will bring us closer to a solution. But the impact on the industry, especially on the import side, remember we import fertilizer, we import tractors. We're getting ready for the summer grain seasons. So yes, it poses severe risk for the agriculture sector in particular, but obviously for all other sectors as well.
I would imagine in certain cases, certain sectors are affected by it more than others. So, for example, the CEO of Berries ZA, representing berry farmers, has said the Peruvian berry industry is basically eating his lunch at the moment. That must be happening in other sectors too.
Indeed. Remember, we've got commitments to retailers overseas and to markets overseas. And if you do not land your product in time, then it is regarded as a sort of breach in terms of your contractual obligations. And by the time your perishable products land there, it will either be, it will be discarded because the quality, to a very large extent, especially when it comes to highly perishable projects such as berries, will be compromised. So your retailers, your markets, international markets, will find other markets in the process, and that in itself is very damaging because now you face certain reputational risk, and that in itself is very damaging.
I mean, a strike may last just, say, 2 weeks, say a month at the longest. But that means that we could lose the market forever, right? Our competitors get in there, very hard to get them out again.
Indeed. And it's also about, maintaining a competitive edge. Remember, if you can export your products at a exchange rate that is favorable for your international importers, then you're in a pounding seat. And in addition to that, your country earns a lot of foreign exchange, and that those taxes also boost your fiscus. So our country is facing a massive economic challenge on all fronts, and this is the last thing that we can afford at this point in time. So yes, we really beg, all parties that are part of these negotiations to find a speedy solution and not to damage the economy even further.
The Labour Minister, Thulas Nxesi, I understand, is actually at the CCMA, or he certainly was earlier today, where the two sides are meeting, the unions and Transnet management. Are you pleased to see government trying to intervene? Little they can do legally, but hopefully he can have some influence on this.
Remember, Transnet is a state-owned enterprise. So you would expect government to really help Transnet management and the board to find a speedy solution. That's the first thing that I want to mention. And secondly, we will also remember that Transnet has experienced a lot of economic setbacks due to all kinds of issues that they've faced in the past. So Transnet is also trapped between a rock and a hard place, or the devil and the blue sea, because they don't have the money really to, accede to very high salary demands or wage demands. But somewhere between what the unions are asking for and what Transnet is offering, they will have to find a solution.
Christo van der Rheede, thanks very much indeed, the CEO of AgriSA. Really do appreciate the time.